Lieutenant William Donahue, D-O-N-A-H-U-E, from the Pennsylvania State Police. With me today is Deputy District Attorney Megan King from the Chester County District Attorney's Office, Child Abuse Unit. And then to my left here is Corporal Robert Kirby from the Pennsylvania State Police Avondale Criminal Investigation Unit, Trooper Stefano Galina from the Criminal Investigation Unit here at Avondale, and our Public Information Officer from Avondale, Trooper Kevin Kochka. We are here today to discuss the arrest of James Battista for the alleged sexual assaults of at least 4 children. Due to the severity of the crimes and the fact that Battista came into contact with numerous children over the years, we have reason to believe that there are more victims that have yet to come forward. I would now like to turn over the podium here to the lead investigator, Trooper Galina.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Trooper Stefano Galina. Spelling of my last name is G-A-L-L-I-N-A. I first want to take this opportunity to thank all the victims who have come forward for their bravery. I know that it has been a very difficult and harrowing experience for the last 10 years. And it's not over. We are asking the public with any information to other potential victims to please come forward, as typically in these types of cases there may be more victims, and our experiences tells us that. The state police does take these investigations very seriously, so we do ask that if, for whatever reason, the public knows of these victims' identities, to keep them to yourself. Give these victims their space and privacy. They've been through enough already. This investigation began in late August of 2009 with the first victim coming forward. The second victim came forward in April of 2010. Those victims at that time were between the ages of 3 and 4. Since that time, 2 other victims have come forward, and with the latest victim coming forward in June of 2018. James Battista first began working at that daycare, which was an in-home daycare owned primarily by his wife, and then he joined to work there in or around 2004, 2005. The daycare did close, and the Battistas did move to Delaware County in 2010, in or around May of 2010. Charges were approved for the arrest of James Battista for these alleged assaults by the head of the Chester County District Attorney's Office, Child Abuse Unit, Deputy District Attorney Megan King, who will also be the lead prosecutor for this case. The charges were filed through District Court 15305 in Oxford, and the state police then traveled to take Battista into custody in or about his residence, where he was found driving his vehicle near his residence, and a traffic stop was conducted, and he was later taken into custody without incident. At this time, I'll open up the podium for some questions.
What happened in 2009 and 2010 with those victims? Were these charges just now, or was he charged back then as well?
No charges were brought forth back then. The victims were 3 and 4. A decision was made based on that and other factors to hold off on prosecution at that time.
Who did these young victims come forward to back then?
Reports were made through Children, Youth, and Families, which then went to law enforcement, which would have been us at the time, state police.
Huh. And do you know why it was they thought they would not bring the claims? They thought the kids were too old and there's nothing else around them?
I apologize.
Why not bring charges back when these younger kids stepped forward? What was wrong?
At the time, the children were 3 and 4. Prosecutorial decision was made not to move forward with prosecution based on that and other factors.
So he would have denied it that, you obviously would have gone to him. He would have denied at that time that he did that?
He was aware of the investigation at that time.
So do you think, since we didn't do anything back in 2009, that there could be more victims from 2009, or do you think all the victims are between that 2006-2009 time frame? We
believe that all the victims are between 2006 and 2009. There's no reason to believe that there was any victims post that time.
I just want to be clear, when did the daycare, I know you said 2004 and 2005, is that when it actually opened, or that's when he joined?
No, that's when
wife?
James Battista joined his wife.
So how long has the daycare been open?
She had been running the daycare, or a daycare of some sort, for at least 25 years, from what we understand.
The victims,
at the time.
I'm sorry. The victims that you've now charged him based on, they're not the same kids that came forward back.
The first 2 are, yes. The first 2, yes.
I'm sorry. So the first 2 that come forward, you folks decide that there's not enough to charge. They have now come forward again as teenagers, and you base you've charged him based on those claims?
No, not necessarily. A decision was made when they were 3 and 4 at the time, based on their age and then other factors at the time, not to move forward. Not that there wasn't any evidence or not enough, just not to move forward at that time. And then 2 of the 3 victims currently charged are the first 2 victims that were involved in the case from the beginning.
Okay, I'm sorry, but what makes you charge him now based on those claims if they weren't quite there years ago?
There's been 2 additional victims, as well as other evidence in the case that I can't go into because it is an ongoing investigation. But based on that, and the children are now of age, able to testify in open court if need be, the decision was made to approve charges and move forward with the arrest.
25 years, that's a lot of kids, right? I would imagine, right?
That would be for the wife.
But it's just the time frame of 2006 and 2000. Do you guys have any idea how many
Children attended that daycare?
in that time frame?
No, we do not. That's why we were asking for the public's help. Any other families, friends, take a look at Mr. Battista's photograph. That first photo was from 2010, in and around the investigation, so that's what he would have looked like at the time, and this is his current photo now. So we are asking for people to please ask your children, if you haven't already done so, ask your family members to talk to them and see if there's any information that you can give us, and if there's anything we need to look into.
Trooper, this is a very serious and sick charges that are brought against Battista. Is there concern that, you don't just move to Delaware County and discontinue all of this bad action or bad behaviors? You don't just close down your daycare and stop. Is that a fear too, that it didn't just happen here in Chester County?
So we have no information that he worked in a daycare or in any of that capacity or volunteer work in and around children. Could he have had access to children? Yes, so that's a possibility. So we're asking the public, even in Delaware County, anywhere in the tri-state area, if he was around children at the time, or you're not, and you suspect something, come forward, give us a call. We will investigate the matter and look into any possible leads.
Were the victims all boys, girls?
All the victims so far have been female.
Have been female. Okay, and are any of them adults?
No.
We've heard from neighbors in Drexel Hill, where he is now, that he had a boatload of grandkids always over there. Is that something you've been made aware of yet?
He does have family, but I'm not going to discuss his family at this time because they're not involved in the investigation at this time.
The court documents that were filed on March 12th detail statements from 3 victims, but you're saying there are 4 victims? Is the 4th one in the charges or not charged yet? Or?
At this time, the 4th victim is not included in those charges.
But will be at what point? Any idea?
It is an ongoing investigation. I can't comment on that at this time.
4 victims, you've charged them based on 3.
Correct.
2 are from very long ago, and then they come forward again. I wanted to ask you this. So when these young folks step forward and it's unclear whether you want to move forward, do you know if state authorities were made aware? Because he'd have to be state licensed back then.
Yes, they were.
So they were made aware of these claims, and he retained his license?
It wasn't his license. It was his wife's license. From what I understand, that they were in the middle of their investigation, and at some point, their daycare closed and they moved. So whether that occurred prior to them concluding their investigation or after, I'm not aware of that at this time.
And even this week, you've heard from some more people, potential victims?
It's an ongoing investigation. I can't comment at this time.
But you definitely think there are more victims out there?
We wouldn't be having this press conference if I didn't believe that.
All females.
So far, all of them have been female.
Pretty heinous crimes, like that.
All crimes when it involves children and a sexual abuse of nature are of the most heinous crimes, yes.
Nice question. What prompts them to come forward now? What prompts let's say the 2 victims to come back to you again?
This is something that they're going to have to relive probably for the rest of their lives. So I wouldn't doubt that for the last 10 years they've been dealing with it, and they'll never forget it, and there's no reason to now.
I know this must be difficult for victims to come forward and to remember something that long ago, although I'm sure it was traumatic. What do you want to say to people, specifically, anyone out there who is a potential victim, about being brave and coming forward?
anyone else who's out there who has been harmed by whether it's Mr. Battista or anyone else in this type of crime, we ask that you please come forward. The services are there not only by the state police and other law enforcement officials, but county officials, there's the Children and Youth Services and families. Everyone is there for these victims to help them move forward, to get them counseling, to get them help, and also to get them the justice that they deserve. No one should have to go through the rest of their lives going through this, having to deal with this type of event in their life and not have the help and assistance that is afforded to them. And we are there for you. You may be scared, you may not want to come forward, but we will keep your anonymity as best we can, and we will investigate whatever crime occurred to you to the fullest extent.
Do the victims know each other? Are they related?
They are not related. Aside from attending the same daycare, they are not known to each other.
Is his wife expected to be charged
No,
in this?
not at this time, no.
Are they, do you know if they're still together?
From what I understand, yes.
Can you spell your first name, would you mind?
Sure. Stefano. If there's nothing further, do you have anything? Okay. If there's nothing further, I thank you very much for your time.